Now we're joined by head coach Phil Neville.
Evening, guys. Well, it was a pleasing performance. I think there's a real calmness, obviously happiness, but there's a real calmness around the team because there's the road is still long for us. We're still on this journey, and we're excited where this team's heading. And it's another goal after 85 minutes, was it? 85 minutes into the game, 86 minutes into the game. It's another late goal, which shows the spirit of the team. And what I said to him before the game is that when you get to my age and Jason, Mark, and when you're older and you look back at times, you remember moments like this in the last week of the season. You remember these moments whether you've shown up, whether you could handle this pressure. And I asked them to go out there and show up and to enjoy the moments and to get the first punch in early in the weekend. And that's really the focus. This group are an amazing group, and now they're beginning to believe. They're now beginning to believe what we believed in them from day one, and it's great to see. And I think it helps when you've got a centre forward that's carrying the team towards the playoffs. I said from day one that we are fortunate. We're fortunate. We're lucky. I'm lucky to manage a world-class striker. And you think about the adversity that he's had to overcome in his Inter Miami career. I think it's testament to his character. The fact that he said from day one he wants to finish with Inter Miami as a winner, and he's leading a bunch of young, inexperienced squad to a place where they are challenging and where we want to be. So we're really happy. I think a real strong message now is to all those Inter Miami supporters in Fort Lauderdale, in Miami, in Hollywood, all the surrounding areas. Let's get down to Drive Pink Wednesday and let's fill the stadium. Let's make it a real hostile atmosphere. Let's fill it. Let's get behind the boys. I think they deserve a full house. I think they deserve a full stadium, and it's going to be a really exciting game. So I know that the Inter Miami supporters have never ever from day one let this football club down, and I know on Wednesday night that they'll show up, and I know against Montreal they'll show up and get behind these players who are performing absolute miracles.
We'll get started with questions now. First Michelle, then Mike Pasquale.
Congratulations, Phil. That was another, you said you were going to pray for a game where you wouldn't have to wait till the end, but your prayers did not come true in that sense. I'm just wondering two things. One, can you describe your emotions and exactly what you felt and thought when Gonzalo's goal went in? Exactly what were you thinking at that moment? And also, if you could describe to us the scene in the dressing room after.
Well, you know what, it sounds like, wise after the event, but I just had a feeling that the goal was coming. I just had a feeling that we were going to get another chance, and Gonzalo hadn't had that many chances. A couple of half chances. There was a cross, I think, from I'm saying McVeigh, maybe at the far post in the second half, but I just felt as if Pozuelo was just, he kept finding the pass through. Some were good, some weren't so good, but there was just going to be an opportunity, and I knew if he got half a chance, he would stick it in the back of the net. So I think when you've scored so many late goals, and I think in modern day football, I think when you see the clock at 85 minutes, really it's not 5 minutes, it's 10. 10 minutes is a long time. So we've got great experience now and great composure in the last period of that game at both winning and seeing out the game. You think about how valuable Victor Joe has been for us coming on and seeing out games. We've trained that. We trained that last Tuesday. We've trained scenarios where we have to go for the win. We've trained scenarios where we have to see out the game, and it's by no accident that these late goals keep going, because the players have belief. And I'd say that it's probably, think about the scenes in the DC dressing room, think about the Columbus scenes. I'd say that today they're a little bit more subdued because there's a long way to go. We want the season to go beyond next week. And to do that, we've got to, keep our feet on the ground, keep focused, keep recovering, keep training hard, keep together, and look forward to the next game. So yes, I'm sure there'll be a photo going out from the dressing room and all celebrating, but that really is just probably for their own personal brand and and what do they want to do with it.
Next question, Mike, then
I
Franco.
told you that, Rafa, didn't I?
Thank you, Rafa. Congratulations, Phil.
Thank you.
It's good to see you smile.
Thank you.
Would you want it any other way? What I mean by that is this: you control your own destiny now, and the final 2 games are at home.
Is that it? Is that a question?
Yeah, just that basically you're creating your own destiny. You get to do it at home.
I think, Mike. I think before the game, I thought we were in control of our own destiny because we'd played first, because we were first game at the weekend. I felt as if we were in control of our own destiny in terms of if we won all 3 games. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that would guarantee us a playoff spot. So I thought before the game, I said to him, "We're in control. We're exactly where we want to be at exactly the right time, playing before everybody else." And with everything in our own hands. And that hasn't been the case for a long time. So we got the advantage by playing early. We took the advantage by putting the 3 points on the board. And we can now recover and look forward to the games at the weekend. And the focus now switches to Wednesday night and Orlando. And it's going to be an incredible last 2 games. Me and Chris Henderson said probably 5-6 weeks ago, it's going to go to the last 3 games. And we try to keep everybody within the whole organisation on that message, on that track, that we were going to take it right to the very last 3 games. The minute that they moved the Orlando game to the last week of the season, that was always going to be our game in hand. And so we said, look, we're going to go to the last game of the season. We're going to ride the storms of defeats like against Chicago. The game before that, New York Red Bulls, we had to ride the emotions of those defeats and others winning. But we knew with the run that we had that we was going to get opportunities, and we knew that with Leo back and the players that they're all fit, that we were going to get opportunities to win games of football. And when you have strikers that are in form, it gives you a real chance.
Last 3 questions, Franco, Javier, and Ian.
Thank you, Rafa. Hey, Phil, big win for you guys. 1 step closer to proving a lot of us on the outside wrong in terms of what we expected from this team this year. And I know that the focus is on the collective and the push you're making, but Gonzalo's been a huge, huge part in this run. And if I could ask just 2 in 1, just on him, when he started this run, when he started scoring goals again and getting back in the team, I remember asking you at practice one day, what's changed for him? And you said it's the happiest that he's been. What has triggered that? What has caused that happiness for him? 1, and 2, for you as a coach, obviously managing bigger personalities is part of the challenge as a coach. And Gonzalo obviously is a very big personality. And last year, I know you said you brought him in close, you had conversations with him often. This year, has your management style with him changed at all? Is it still the same? Have you become closer? Have you been a little bit more hands off? How has that evolved in terms of how you've managed the personality that is Gonzalo Higuain?
Well, I think the one thing I would say about Gonzalo is that our relationship has almost gone stronger every day that we've been at the football club, and never once have probably has he felt the lack of belief from me to him. So I think that's been a big part of our relationship. There's a great respect. He's the most respectful, most honest, polite, classy guy that you meet. And I feel as if that our relationships has had some tough moments when we've had to leave him out, and we've took him out to get fit maybe last year, and he came back this year and Leo was scoring and he had to come off the bench, and that those are tough moments for a winner and a manager that wants his team to win and is probably fighting for his own job and the success of the club. And throughout that period, I felt as if we never ever, we spoke most days. I always make sure the communication was really open and honest with him. And what happened is that period out the team and Leo scoring, I felt as if the team, when he came back in, accepted him even more. Why? Because they needed him. Why? Because of his attitude. Because every single day he went out and he never ever threw his toys out the pram. And almost now, over the last 5 weeks, you get a situation where the whole dressing room looks at him as a leader. He's probably where he wanted to be when he first came into this MLS. He wanted to be the man that everyone looked up to, the man that everyone worshipped, the man. And that comes for two ways. You've got to have a team around you, and you've also got to put in the performances yourself. But I think what we've done, we've provided him with a team and a platform, particularly with Pozuelo coming in, and he's give the team back more. And I think it's been a brilliant learning experience for me as a coach in terms of sort of like providing these players with the right platforms. You know, and maybe Toronto are going through similar now in terms of providing platforms, the right roster, the right players, the right energy around world-class players. And we've got a world-class player in Gonzalo, and he's delivering everything and more for the team that worship him, the team that think he's God, the team that think he's the king, the team that just he's got everybody on a string, and it's brilliant to see the happiness in which he's playing his football, the happiness in when he comes into work every single day, and he's got the whole dressing room playing to his tune, and that is through respect, and that is through encouragement, and that is through his performances, and you know, that's what you get from winners.
Xavier and Daniel.
Hey, Coach, big win today. Congratulations. Can you talk a little bit about Bryce, Duke, and Mota, the type of game they had tonight, and how important they're going to be for the next game with Gregory going to be out for that game?
Yeah, well, Mota, I think, had his best game in about 3 or 4 weeks. He's been carrying an injury. But today, with the international break, we've managed him really well. I thought he looked outstanding tonight. I said to Bryce yesterday in training, is that I wanted it. I thought against DC he did okay, but I thought he didn't play with personality and character. And Bryce Duke without personality and character is half the player. So I told him I wanted him to play with personality and character and believe that he should be on the same pitch as Gregory, Mota, Pozuelo, Gonzalo, Leo. And I thought he played with personality. And when you talk about a young boy with a big future, that's a young boy with a big future that's still got so much development to do. And these games will bring him on because, you know, he comes up to me at the end there and say, you know, last week was 61 minutes. I think today was 68. He said, please, coach, can I go over 70 next time? I said, well, keep playing with personality. And that's what he is. He's got a personality. He's cheeky. And we are lucky to have that young boy.
Last question, Ian.
Thank you, Rafa. Congrats, Phil.
What's the magic number, Ian? I keep reading the magic number. Not a clue what you're tweeting, but
The magic number is points gained by you and points lost by your opponents.
I know, right?
Yes.
It makes me laugh.
So you actually 2 months ago today was the Cincinnati game, and we saw frustration on you that you felt like you had the team, but you dealt with Orlando, you dealt with Philadelphia, you dealt with Barcelona even, and all of those games, and it sort of felt like you had the team that you wanted, but you weren't getting the results that you want. If I had talked to you then and said you're going to get 19 points out of a possible 30 in your next 10, are you believing in yourself then? Did you feel like this was possible to go on this run, to be in this situation, to have what you have now? Well,
yes, we thought we did, because we just brought in Pozuelo and Coco, and you know, we brought in Pozuelo to get us into the playoffs. We brought in Coco to get us into the playoffs. And I think if you look back at the games since Pozuelo's come in, he's probably out of 11 games, won us probably 5 or 6, and that's with passes, assists, and stuff like that. So he's delivering, and what he has done is he's give the team the ability to score more goals. All of a sudden, we went from a team at the start of the season that probably lacked opportunities in games. We were a transition team to a team that then started to score 4s, 3s, 2s. And it was always tight games, but we started to look like a team that was controlling possession, a team that was controlling the opposition, and a team that looked like a goal threat. And that was the biggest thing for me is that to be a playoff team, to challenge the top teams, you cannot just be a transition team. You've got to be able to control games. And I think that was the difference. That was the change in our mentality. Now, you look back at the Cincinnati game, it actually looks like a really outstanding point, you know, in terms of the other results that they've had against teams, even though we know that we probably should have won that game. So we've always had belief. We've always had belief, but it's about the players and the way that they've performed. And you know, we are very simple with them. There's 2 games to go. There's 2 games to go for us to achieve what we want to achieve, and then beyond, we can look beyond that. So there's a long way to go. There's lots of twists and turns. We know that. And Wednesday against Orlando will not be an easy game. We play probably the best team in the conference the week after, behind Philadelphia and Montreal. So the next 2 games against the top of the conferences are going to be massively, massively difficult. But we're in the hat, as you say, we're in the hat. We're in just the right place, and we got the first punch. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.